Previously on Follow the Leader.
Today we're playing Dream Askew by Avery Alder. For those of you who are new to this game, here are the basics. Dream Askew gives us ruined buildings and wet tarps, nervous faces in the campfire glow, strange new psychic powers, fierce queer love, and turbulent skies above a fledgling community, asking, what do you do next?
Hi, everybody. I have put together a hawker in this case, and in this sense, very much someone in the means of which they sell something, a pusher, a hawker, or what have you. I've pulled forward an old character from a few years ago in a completely different campaign. This one is Sparkplug, someone that I have lovingly described as a belts and bandoliers elemental kind of person.
Okay. I said this in text chat. It is very funny that Cory was between Hawker and Stitcher for Sparkplug, because I was between Stitcher and Hawker for everyone's favorite trash asshole, Reuben Murdoch. Stitcher worked better, but I could have seen an argument for Hawker, and then you were like, Hawker or maybe Stitcher, and I was like, holy shit.
So I'll be playing Moira, uses he, him pronouns, as the tiger.
Okay, I'm playing the Arrival, and I'm playing Aster, who uses she, they pronouns.
Nice. Okay.
But I also have a phone to fix.
You do
Apparently.
have a... Okay. All right. Call me if you need me to look at that phone. Because I will want to look at it sooner or later.
Yeah, definitely. For right now, it's just a mangled pile of parts, though, so, you know. How useful is it? Except as scrap.
Oh, you'd be surprised. You can take those apart and use something out of it. You can make it into a new array if you really wanted to.
I know, but I would kind of like to see how it worked before. If I can't get it to work how it did, it will turn into an array. It'll be a whole different thing. You know, normal.
And we'll attach it to the system. But for now, and Sparkplug starts dumping honey over this jar of unidentified mushrooms, which they will then begin eating. I got a place to be.
Have fun.
Already doing it.
Don't fall off the roof and die.
Probably won't. But if I do, you're there. Walks out chomping.
You're not fucking immortal.
Yeah, but you sure feel like it. At least if you live like me.
I love this little goblin. Holy shit.
They're very good.
Oh boy.
We now return to your game already in progress.
There's a part of me that wants to pick up something, but I don't know what. Let me look at what we have. All right.
Yeah.
Here, as we slip back into idle dreaming briefly, let's look at, I am looking at our conflicts, I suppose. Who in the Enclave throws the best parties?
I feel like it's between two people, and I think that's Moira or Sparkplug.
I mean...
We could also make up another guy.
That's true. We could make up a third guy who's great at parties. And not, like, at being present at parties, but at doing parties.
I think it could easily be one of our relationships to bring in those NPCs.
Nice.
Because, like, Sparkplug has an ingenue assistant who
Oh boy. Yeah.
could very easily be great at organizing a shindig, using some of the things that Sparkplug has on hand. And I definitely think Moira would show up for one of those parties.
Okay. All right, good. It's already a bash. I think that's probably what it is, right? Like, we have the abandoned, like, complex. I'm thinking very, like, Euro discotheque situation, right? Like, some room underground, no one remembers what it was used for before. Probably it's bordering the train platform in some way, because subway situation, right? But you know what a really good use for an abandoned underground space is? Put a lot of flashing lights in it, some booming music, a stereo system. You have dark spaces, intrigue, places to put random furniture, places you can just throw art up on the walls, like that kind of, like, anything. It's perfect. And it'll echo everywhere and be louder than sense, and a massive overload, but the kind of perfect place that someone could get lost in many senses, with many things. Man, what's my assistant named? We'll take an easy one. I'll name my assistant Gasket. And I think very much because contrasts are fun and I like a big little situation and I just got out of that kind of thing. Gasket, in contrast to Sparkplug, well put together, like finely dressed, also much more sociable in the immediacy and much less demanding, but still someone with a spark, like a sparkle in the eye and a shine for something that you wouldn't expect. They're comfortably leading from like a DJ situation or an MC situation, just doing what they can to keep it going and roiling underground, mixing up what they can in terms of mess for this small collective of folks. Maybe there are even people from outside of here that gather here sometimes, that wander in through the platform. But whatever the situation is, tall, obvious, personable, and very much possessing enough of the skill and very much more of the ability to pitch and to make sail.
Hell yeah.
You go to Sparkplug because you want the things. You go to Gasket because you want the place. How's Moira do at a party?
I don't think Moira is the life of the party, but get a few beers in him, and I think, like, he'll start performing, because I don't think that's a part of him that, like, ever left.
Nice. Yeah. And if it's about beer or other substances, that's in high supply. Granted, might make you go blind if you go a little too hard on it, but it's there. There are stills, there are barrels, there are more. Anything you need is there. The risk is what you take and when you take it and how you take it. But if it's beer, that's easy, that's cheap, and that's safe enough, at least. Because that's just tea, baby. You're just boiling it, making it, and you ferment it.
Yeah. I don't see Moira reaching for anything harder, just because, like, especially in the wake of what's happened, like, he doesn't really want to expand his senses. Even before
That's
that,
so fair.
like,
That's so real.
like, potentially opening yourself up to the psychic maelstrom could very easily draw the wrong kind of attention. So it's just like, I'll stick to the devil I know.
Does anything like this also draw on Ruben and Aster?
Or are they on the other side of the party culture conflict?
I think Aster enjoys a party.
Is it this kind of party?
We're flexible.
And how about Ruben?
No, Ruben definitely enjoys a party. Ruben is an absolute fucking hedonist. I don't think Ruben is here. I think Ruben came, partook, and left. I will get into that later. Because I don't want to derail from where we are currently. I am removing Ruben from this situation and letting y'all enjoy the party.
Fair. Yeah. Sparkplug loves it. Sparkplug's deep in it, of course. You can find Sparkplug wherever because, surprisingly, right, for being a strange workshop selling goblin, they will actually flit from crowd to crowd. They're doing what Gasket can't do right now, and they are selling and getting people hooked and providing things for what's needed at that moment. So I think at some point in time they would run across Moira and sort of like holding out a bottle of something cold that you can tell is handmade.
I think Moira like arches an eyebrow and is just like, I don't take things I don't know what they are.
Everything that I made in here, you know what it is, right? Or I could tell you.
What's in the bottle?
Little special brew. You got a glass, right?
Moira considers for a moment, looks down at the glass that he's holding. It doesn't have much left in it, and he's like, fuck it, why not? Throws back what's left, holds out the glass, and is just like, just a taste.
Sparkplug will wrench the cap off the bottle with their teeth, spit out the cap, and pour a substance. And at first it does look like that sort of usual yellow-brown of some form of ale, but there's flecks of purple and red that float in that are obvious. They're glowing. They're there. I tried using something I took from Ruben's shop. Something for the mushrooms cabinet. Not the psychoactive kind, but just a little extra flavor. And they'll take a sip of it first to demonstrate that, yeah, they're not tripping in that way.
Yet.
Moira looks at the liquid a little suspiciously, then raises his glass and says cheers, and takes a big swig.
Likewise.
I think despite the extra flavor, quote unquote, it still burns all the way down.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, there's nothing smooth about this whatsoever.
Yeah. It's raw and unfiltered, and it is very much what it is. And I think Sparkplug will gesture for, like, probably a bigger room, so they'll point with the bottle over to somewhere like a doorway to somewhere a bit smaller, like an alcove, and throw themselves onto just a couple of cushions that are like gathered in the far corner of that alcove and gesture for Moira.
Moira follows. He doesn't like flop down, he just kind of posts up near like the entrance to the alcove, leans against the wall. This is probably something that Sparkplug's familiar with because, they've gotten protection from Moira before, and this is, perhaps Moira falling into a little bit of a habit. Just kind of, not acting suspicious or anything like that, but, keeping an eye out just in case anybody decides to get a little bit too rowdy.
Always sitting under the shoulders of giants. How's business, big one? Anything caught up with you?
I'm not gonna lie and say that I'm 100% on the answer, but things have gotten a little weird. I'll tell you that much.
Okay. Well, we have some guests today. You get two shots at who it is. And I'm leaving the floor open for someone to pick up one of the other books in this one.
I'm staring at it.
Yeah.
Staring at them.
You know me, I don't like guessing games.
Don't you? We're all living in uncertainty. should hone that ability of yours. Keep an eye out for what's there. You should keep your mind ahead for what's coming.
How easy is it for the two of you to hear each other right now?
Probably not very. Like,
It's... yeah.
What?
If you could read lips, it would be between flashes of lights. If you could hear sounds, it would be with the dull roar of a crowd and the music pounding below it. And if you could smell intentions, good luck smelling anything in a mess like this. It's all taste and it's all touch, and that's the way that Sparkplug likes it. Why, is something spying in?
No, just wondering. I'm making sure that the volume is clear.
That's fair.
I think Mora kind of shakes his head and is just like, I'm plenty open to possibilities, but that doesn't mean I have to like it.
Sure, but not always gonna have the old network up there. If you're out there to keep an eye out for threats, you're as much in line of defense as anything else is. And can think about it this way. Gasket's been running these events out of the railways for a while. But those railways, long passages underground. I try to wire things up to them, but connection gets a little staticky sometimes, you know?
This is probably a good point to pick up the digital realm, right?
Hell yeah.
Everything we'd ever known or said was embedded somewhere inside it. Even though the digital realm was young, it was hard to remember back to the way life was without it. It seemed as permanent as it was pervasive. Apocalypse pulled the digital realm to pieces. Networks fell into disconnect, satellites blinked out, computers were ripped apart and stripped of their precious metal content. But humans are wily and resourceful. They know how to salvage, repurpose, and rebuild. Maybe the digital realm still has a future. We've never talked about quote-unquote modern technology in this world. But it's been here. It has existed the whole time. It's just been post-apocalypse, so on the whole, we haven't relied on it. I do really like, before I continue with my fucking tiny monologue, I do really like that this is a more machine tech-oriented game than we've played in this setting before. It's really tickling me in a very real way.
Well, I'm leaning into it, yeah.
It's really, really good. It's something I have been thinking about because we have been very magic oriented before, and this is fun. I like this a lot.
Yeah. And I think Sparkplug will pull out a screen. And they'll plug it into the wall and gesture for Moira to come over and look.
Before it plugs in, there is a burst of static interfering with the music. Probably not like a full interference, probably not an interruption, but it does fuzz for a brief moment.
Ooh. Check that. You hear it?
Impossible not to.
Alright, now look. And Sparkplug will bring up the screen as the static. It washes over frame to frame but clears, and it is a mix of things, primarily cameras pointed down, long passages into the dark, lit up only by dim emergency lights at most. Sometimes shadows can pass through or be seen or be cast from the source of it, which is the parties that are happening. There's also audio, waveforms, sound that pulse, somewhat, obviously interrupted by the sound of the booming echoing from deeper within, but keeping track of rustles of brush of wind blowing, occasionally peaking as some small creature or maybe something bigger skitters and scuttles through underground passages.
I have a detail and then I have a question.
Hit it.
The detail is that there's also occasionally the burst of acoustic guitar music. My question is, Aster, are you here?
I think Aster's at the party.
Nice.
Yeah, you don't need to be, like, in this conversation. I want to know if you're in the room.
Yeah.
Because I think also the move here that I will make as the digital realm is that sneaking through the music that you hear is music that you recognize from your world.
Oh. I think she's probably had a few. I think she might start singing along without realizing.
Nice. Yeah. I'm gonna be starting to rely on the tiger's lure here. And Sparkplug will point at the screens and say, that big wave of static is one thing, but just watch for a couple of minutes. And as they hold up the screen, occasionally a camera will like glitch and burst and blank out for some time before it's, with some forceful burst or otherwise, starts back up and continues to sway back and forth with its vision focusing on the distance. I told you to think about possibilities. Well, here's a real one. What if something knows how to slip through these holes in the net?
Moira kind of tilts his head a little bit to one side and says, huh.
Yeah. I mean, we welcome in guests. Guests bring resources. I can sell to them. They come back. They bring more. What if they bring something we don't want?
Then we tell what we don't want to get the fuck out.
That's why you're here, isn't it?
Moira snorts and is just like, I was here to party, but I guess we're gonna have a different kind of party coming up, huh?
Can't give you hints outside of this. And I think Sparkplug pulls out, like, this is definitely like Sony Walkman style tape player, because they had to scrub the audio from this surveillance system that they put together, ramshackle. They couldn't record it to like a file. They had to get it onto analog tape, and they'll hand it over to Moira to listen to. And it'll roll for a few minutes, and at first it's just that same booming and like bass that comes from it. But there's sounds of scrabbling, of something real and of something being fiddled with. And then it's almost as if it loops every 30 seconds or so. The exact same passage of something, of noise. And at first it's not easy to pick out. But there's a loop point, there's a buzz, a cut, as it continues to go back and back and back over and over again.
I think I'm gonna make a weak move here.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say, I'll deal with it. Promising something I can't possibly deliver.
Good.
Hey, Aster.
Hey.
Did your phone have a custom ringtone?
Yeah. It's a song from my planet. Or my timeline.
Wherever it is that you're from. That's the next song that entwines with the music in that entwines with the music in this party.
Astrid's bumping. Sorry.
It almost sounds like you're getting a phone call.
Astrid's probably pretty drunk.
That's fair. Do y'all ever have that experience where you have a song as a ringtone or an alarm sound for so long that you have like a visceral reaction to it when you hear it outside of that context?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's so weird because it's just like I've been so used to hearing this just, as it was, and now all of a sudden, right?
Yeah. And Aster's very drunk, so they probably don't have this reaction now, but it was intended to be that sort of a nudge. I just don't think that it worked.
Beautiful.
Aster's just like, oh shit, I haven't heard this song in so long, because their phones are not rung in a long time.
Yeah. Exactly.
Something's coming for us, huh?
Something's watching us.
Something's watching. Oh boy.
Something is watching us.
Hey, if you find that thing, you can't catch it. From within the bandoliers, Sparkplug will unlatch something and pull it out, and you can see in the flashing lights that it is a gun, and they'll hold it out to you, a barrel pointing towards them, because you're their protection. They trust you to not just pull it on them.
Mm.
A little gift.
Appreciated.
Hey, don't fail now, or we'll all find out what happens.
I feel like that's a great place to end the scene.
Shit, yeah, we gotta.
No pressure.
Hey, so when do we find out what happens?
Well, we fucked around.
Soon, probably, right? I'm gonna put down the digital realm because I'm going to pick up Ruben alone in their workshop.
Oh boy.
Inebriated, but mind tuned to the psychic maelstrom, even if they are not directly interfacing with it. I will let others decide if that is a thing that they want to have interfere. Ruben with the broken and busted pieces of a Motorola Razr on the table in front of them. Most of the rest of their work shoved to the side, with the exception of a magnesium, lavender, probably some other chemicals mixed within. Maybe salt. Maybe a shaving or two of gold. But none of that is useful for the work that they are doing now, in an attempt to fix this line of communication. I don't think that for all of the work in electronics and machinery that we have in the Enclave right now, for all of the work that Sparkplug has done in order to connect us, there is no connection out.
Yep.
Perhaps this is why in the future this will become the place where society begins to rebuild, because it is already connected in this way. But that's the future, and this is now. Ruben does not think much about the future. Ruben thinks a lot about the present. And Ruben is sifting through the pieces of this phone. What if it has been broken and fallen out? And some of the pieces, I think, are more corroded than they would like to see. This is clearly a device that was made for a world with a different air quality.
Mm-hmm.
And considers for a moment, and then shrugs. No time like the present, after all. And maybe I should retake our content warnings once again. For
Great,
self-harm in the name of science.
Oh boy.
Ruben, I think, will pop themselves into a different chair, probably a stool, probably to be at a height of the workstation. Shuffle through a drawer in which there are many bizarre tools, including screwdrivers and wrenches and a truly absurd-looking dagger, before finding just an ordinary paring knife, I would say. Sharp enough to cut through flesh without, a problem. I'm taking a token to isolate myself again, to work on a personal project, because despite the fact that Ruben is also working to fix this phone, This also has the added bonus of letting them fuck around with the living silver and see exactly what is going on below the surface.
If it works for food, it works as a scalpel. Yeah.
Yeah. Not that they don't know what's going on below the surface, because below the surface of what should be a layer of skin, I promise I will not go into details of this, of the actual harm infliction itself.
Mm-hmm.
But what should be meat flesh, I guess, gross, is more silver. It is silver. Ruben cannot see this. Ruben does not cut deep enough to see this, but it is an indicator that it is silver all the way down to the bone and perhaps even into it. Again, gross.
The element that flows, true and unsplit.
Yeah, it's creeping up into the joints of their knee. A lot of the work that they are trying to do is to prevent it from spreading any further. But for now, they have it. And silver, I'm pretty sure, it's been a while, but I'm pretty sure that silver is a fairly decent conductor of electricity.
That it is.
And perhaps something of a, with a little bit of a curse attached to it, will integrate in with the parts of this phone and cause it to function again. And I think that, well, I want to leave it open before I say that it does work. Because I think it does. Because I have a specific thing I'm going to ping here. But I do want to leave it open if anybody wants to, like I said, Ruben has imbibed some substances.
Mm-hmm.
And I have used the regular move to open myself to the psychic maelstrom. If somebody wants to interfere before the thing that I think happens, be my guest. This is also me looking at the time and going, I have a thing that I want to do, and I want to make sure that we have enough time to do.
I did it last time. Would someone else like to pick up?
I have an idea, but if you have an idea... Oh.
Maybe Aster is there with you and you can do your idea, because I assume Aster is probably trying to find the phone and knows that she left it with,
Ruben?
Yeah.
With Ruben. So how about we both head on over?
Well, Moira's not heading over. August is heading over as the psychic maelstrom.
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it a race to see who can get to Ruben first?
No, I think it's interesting if you get there before the psychic maelstrom happens.
Oh god, okay. Well then, yeah, Aster, I think, has a moment where she's like, wait a minute. Oh, shit. And looks around, doesn't see Ruben at the party, and takes off.
Realizing that she's hearing the sound of her phone ringing?
Yeah, just like, oh, this is a vibe, man. I haven't heard this in forever. Why haven't I? When was the last time I heard this? Oh, I gotta go.
That's really good, because that plays into the thing that I was going to say happens, and this maybe happens before the psychic maelstrom hits.
Okay.
Which is that the silver, Ruben fixes the phone, and I'm spending a token to do that, because that's a stronger move than just a regular one, to fix a thing. And I think that Ruben powers it on, and it comes on, and there's probably a point for Aster when the music fades out and they can't hear the ringtone anymore, and then they hear it again, because in Ruben's workshop, the phone is ringing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Aster's heading to your workshop. I think assuming that you will be there, not realizing if you will or will not, but like...
It's a fair assumption.
Yeah.
So
I think Ruben is holding the phone, and I do want to hit the regular move. While your character holds an object, ask what powerful emotion has this recently absorbed? And then I'll let August do their thing.
well, I was just gonna ask a question. But
Sure.
I mean, I would say that the most recent powerful emotion that it's absorbed was fear, because the last interaction anybody had with it before it got fixed was the big explosion, as it were, and Aster breaking it.
That is true.
But before that, I don't know, it might be interesting, if you don't mind me saying this, Annya, it might be interesting if before that the most recently absorbed emotion was hope from someone making a call.
Aw. Yeah.
So, does anybody answer the phone?
No. Yes, maybe. No. Ruben doesn't. If Aster comes into the workshop, Ruben will come. Yeah.
I mean, it depends on what all you would like to have happen. I can come in and answer the phone, or we can let whatever's going on happen.
I mean, the thought that I had was that Aster could come in and Ruben could, like, look up with, like, a weird expression on their face and hold out the ringing phone and say, "It's for you."
Here I was come trying to save your ass, and you're being all creepy about it. All right, I see how it is.
Hell yeah.
Ruben kind of, like, grins a little bit and goes, "Who would be calling me? It's your phone. It's gotta be for you, right?"
Aster will answer it.
I think in this moment, you hear a burst of static.
Pulls it away from their ear real fast, like, damn, Jesus, come on now.
But the static subsides. And what it subsides into is the sound of water. Like, you have one white noise bleeding into another. It's not the sound of rushing water that it settles into, but the sound of waves lapping at the shore.
Is this a sound I recognize?
Well, I mean, it depends on if you've ever been to the beach before.
In general, not even necessarily this one.
Yeah.
Were there beaches on my planet? Timeline.
In your vicinity.
I don't know where I'm from. Maybe there weren't. Maybe they were... Would they have been dried up? Is the twist that I'm from the future?
I mean, you can be from wherever and whenever you want to be. If it's an adjacent place that doesn't have any beaches, then that's perfectly reasonable. Which makes it interesting that you don't recognize this sound.
Yeah, I don't think I do.
I love that so much. I love that you don't know what an ocean sounds like. That's so good.
Damn.
Yeah, I think the sound just continues. Like, you hear the sound of water sloshing, you know, not having the context of what that means. But, you know, it gets louder, it gets softer, it gets louder, it gets softer, as, you know, what we, the audience, would recognize as the water receding and getting closer.
Aster is just repeating, like, hello? Who is this? Hello?
Ruben, I think, is like leaning in close, trying to hear what is happening over the speakers.
And then I think you hear a deep feminine voice just say,
"Hello, Aster."
Mommy, sorry, mommy.
Whoa!
Not incorrect!
Woo!
"Oh boy!"
Not wrong!
Uh-oh, is all I have to say.
Anyways, go on. Aster, just like, yes, hello. Have I heard this voice before?
I think it's very fun if you have in your own world in a completely different context.
Yes.
Like not a creepy one like it's trying to be right now.
You have heard this exact voice before, but not like this. I'm gonna let August figure out what the fuck that means.
I think that means
Roll
Aster
bomb, run away.
sounds relieved a little bit, then like, oh my god, hi. How are you calling me?
There's a brief chuckle, and then the voice says,
With your phone, of course.
Oh, this is my phone. I have my phone.
I think it would be better if we spoke with less technology in the way.
You can do that?
I can do a lot of things.
What?
Quick pause. Is this how we're gonna kill God?
Oh no.
No, I'm joking.
But oh no, though.
Aster voice. Oh, yes.
But oopsie, though.
I have a favor to ask.
I'll listen. I'm not making any promises ahead of time.
Ruben is mouthing, who the fuck is this?
I don't know if they're the same person I think they are. They're fine.
the voice on the other end does not respond to what you're saying to Ruben, like doesn't even acknowledge that you're talking to somebody else, and just says,
Meet me below the train station.
I mean, you've probably figured out I'm not coming alone, haven't you? Am I coming alone looking at Ruben?
I never said you couldn't bring friends. The more the merrier.
Okay, see you then. It's been lovely chatting. Whoever the hell you are.
Dial tone?
dial tone. I think we've got enough time for one more scene.
One more time we figure out what the heck it is that Moira's getting into. That he can't fix. Simply great.
Do we?
Is it time to take up... Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, is it time to take up the Earth itself? You think?
Maybe so.
I don't know if this is necessarily the natural world to start with, but underground, distantly away from the signs of this budding civilization, away from the loud sounds that it makes to try and root out what should be there and what it's taken its space from. Within man-made caverns thrust through the earth like veins added in where they should not have been to supplant something that it itself needed to live. Parasitic, but slowly becoming symbiotic. I think deeper down the tunnels, it starts to transition from just the gravel and rail and the lines which formerly carried sparks, and which may still, but in smaller quantities, to the smell of fecund air, of green, which is not easily spotted, just moss on the walls, of the faint sort of papery dirt and spore like clouds floating in the air, as there are shelf shrooms which grow further. Getting closer to, I think this is an access point that starts to bridge towards the shore, close enough to where it's still structurally able to stay in place, but far enough out to where the smell of salt begins to drift down from the access tunnels.
I think I would like to add a detail.
Sure.
In that, as the tunnels deviate from the places where there are tracks, there are some crystalline structures just I don't want to say growing haphazardly, but there's sometimes small clusters of them that you can see.
Yeah. And I think one of those is what has grown over a microphone. And it's funny, you think it would be like a small one, but no, what Sparkplug has repurposed has been like a shotgun microphone that you'd normally see on a stage for recording a large space at once. It's encased in crystal. And there's a steady humming that comes from within it, which is what's causing it to repeat as it was on the tape. But here among the plants, mushrooms, the silence, the sea, the salt, it's stunningly quiet for now. What you do?
Well, I have a question.
Hmm?
Do I run into Ruben and Aster down here?
The floor is open.
I'm fine with it if you do.
Yeah, that's fun. We can put all four of us together.
Nice. I think Sparkplug is, if they're here, they're not visible.
Reasonable.
But then I think that means, like, are you all arriving in sort of streaming in behind one another? Do you meet somewhere along the way, or is this everyone arriving at the same point, sort of delayed?
Delayed, I want to think. Y'all had a head start on us. We're coming from further up.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So then I think as Aster and as Ruben begin passing through, the air is still as silent as it was, but those crystals begin to resonate. And for Sparkplug, I think that looping changes. It's not looping 30 seconds of static anymore, or whatever it was that breaks back. It's now beginning to ring, like Aster's ringtone had been. But that's what's looping now, over and over. And I think the tape, it shouldn't happen normally, but the tape has been updated to that too. It changes, as does the actual live surveillance itself.
Don't you guys love when things are fine?
Yeah.
I love when things are fine.
Things are absolutely fine. I don't know what you're talking about. This is normal.
I think down there too, that's as the air blows from the access tunnels. At first, it's just salt and sea. Things that you normally would expect if you've wandered this far down. Nothing's ever really come this way. But give it enough time with everyone gathered together, someone might start to pick up on the scent of blood. It's faint at first, but it's drifting through.
I mean, the natural person to pick up on the scent of blood would be Moira, huh?
Mm-hmm. What do you do with that?
I'm gonna hold up a hand, because, like, I don't know exactly where Sparkplug is, but I know Sparkplug's around.
There's a bit of a skittering sound in the background that stops when you do that.
And I mean, I'm going to go forward and investigate because shit could have easily gone down. And I am going to ask a regular question.
That's what I usually say before I ask normal questions too.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask a normal question. Open it up to the floor. Who's really in control here?
Along with the scent of blood, in the silence, there is slowly, audibly, the sound of a stuttering heartbeat.
That's not concerning at all.
One that you feel in your body as your heart tries to sync with it and can't, because it is bigger than you, and bigger than even the four of us, or even the Enclave as a whole. Bigger even than the voice on the other end of the line that Aster heard call her down into the dark.
And I think the faintest sounds of the Enclave melt away at that. The serenity of the air around where it was once quiet is replaced by a booming, and at first one might be mistaken if they think that it's thunder from above, that is of a storm passing by. But instead it is a thrumming, like blood in your ears, a thrumming, a rhythm, a pounding. And it's not just in the ears, it's not just in the veins, it is in your body. You are surrounded by the sound, the sensation, the beating as it reverberates through the chest. And that smell is perforated around, and if only Moira was able to pick it up before, everyone can most certainly tell distinctly what it is now.
Yay.
Ruben, I think, is going to step closer to Aster and Sparkplug as they register this.
I think Sparkplug will drop down. They were skittering along the ceiling earlier. With some effort, mind you, but now that there is something happening, they decide they would rather be closer to the big people.
Moira reaches into one of his boots and pulls out a knife and recognizes how futile such a gesture is, but the point of the gesture is more symbolic than anything, and he proceeds forward.
Yep.
And I have a token that I'm poised to use depending on what happens next.
Yeah, it's fair. I think Sparkplug, and I'll pass it off now, will also proceed forward with Moira leading the way. So I'll trade away the earth itself for now. Hey y'all, what are we dealing with?
Good question. August, is she there?
I think, with your permission, someone in particular is there.
Sure.
Good.
Let me look really quick. This is a very funny way to interpret this move. I'm going to pick up the Society intact.
Oh boy.
For some reason, we thought the collapse was going to hit everybody at the same time, but nothing happens like that. Neatly, evenly. Civilization crumbles in waves, eroding the peripheries of good society. Apocalypse is only a distant nightmare for the privileged, a cautionary tale about what might happen to them if they should fall from the Master's arms. You'd be surprised what one of those people would do to keep their society intact. This is an interpretation of the Society intact, given the figure that August is invoking. The move that I am making is to introduce an authority figure. Because there is a light, I think, that passes. There is one of those lights that sweeps around a circular space, right? It's not a circular space exactly, but you get the sensation. The light that moves and it illuminates the opposite wall, and then it is in your face, and then it illuminates the opposite wall, and it is in your face, and it is rotating like that. And on one sweep, there is nothing in the tunnel ahead, and then on another sweep, there is a woman perched on a rock, wearing a truly impressive hat.
Who the hell are you?
Nice hat.
Thank you. It was a gift.
You're not the original owner of that voice.
This is not the woman who is on the phone with
Never
you.
mind. Erase that last statement.
This is somebody different. I don't think she answers Moira's question.
A bit far away from the party, friend. You miss your invitation?
I'm right where I want to be, as it would happen.
Away from the greatest place in the edge?
Things tend to go wrong when I'm too near too many people. I wouldn't want to disrupt the festivities.
I live a life of disruption. Something shaking it up. Never bad.
Be careful what you wish for, friend.
Oh, I'm never careful.
No shit.
You love me for it, don't you?
At this moment, or like just in general? 'Cause-
Oh, don't pretend like you aren't part of it, Aster. I've seen you sneaking peeks. You got nimbler fingers than you give yourself credit for.
I'm touched.
And yeah, I know you do. You just like to hide it.
The light sweeps over the woman, and she has the most terrifying grin you've ever seen. And then when it comes back again, it's gone.
Give us a name, friend.
What will you offer in return?
I think they'll stand out not in front of, but beside Moira, and hold up their arms, demonstrating sort of the bandoliers and everything that hangs off of them, chains and otherwise. Anything that you can't find in there, you can find out here. And I got a whole collective out here that can build it for you.
I have no need for things. I exist here because it is easier to have a conversation. Gaze afflicts to Moira. Make deals. Back to Sparkplug. When I have a mouth to speak and eyes to see, things are useless to me. So I ask again, what do you have to offer me?
I think they just sort of like raise their hands like, okay, and just back away a bit.
I know people like you.
Oh?
My friends ain't got shit for you. If you know what's good, you'll pack up and leave.
What do you think you can do to stop us, Bound One? I am not but a herald, a ringer of bells. I am not here to serve as a warning, simply to... I don't know. I'm here as a favor to a friend. What would you have me do accept my role in this cosmic game of chess.
Hey, biggest one. And Sparkplug will sort of press up against Moira's back for a second. You got that pretty piece of steel in your hands. You need a little something extra?
I'm trying to decide which action Moira takes, because he definitely does not trust after everything that's been said. And I think the first thing I'm going to do is take action, leaving myself vulnerable, and I am going to throw the knife at the stranger. Just, very practiced motion as I take aim at the stranger's chest.
It hits true. She doesn't flinch.
And then I think I'm going to spend my token on the strong move. Get yourself or your gang out of harm's way, and I am going to, for the purposes of this, consider the other people in our party as part of my gang, since you are down here under my protection.
I think that's a fair interpretation of that.
And I'm just...
Yeah, sure.
I am going to stare for just a second, blink, and then go, oh shit, and turn and, try to sweep everybody else away.
Yeah, okay. I have a fun gift, because I'll also spend a token. Or that gun I gave you earlier.
Fun.
I hope Moira does, because Sparkplug will give a flash something from their hands as they quickly pull what was loaded in it out and put something else in. And there is just a flash of something unnatural on the tip, as I'm spending a token to lace something with undetectable poison.
Nice. Yeah. I think this happens, and Moira, who is not the most skilled with firearms, but is still, skilled enough to be able to hit, a body in the torso, like the largest body mass. And he fires. And I want to leave room for Aster to spend a token or two as well, because they've got some pretty fun, strong moves.
That they do.
I'd love to reveal a previously unmentioned skill, but I don't know what that skill would be.
Basket weaving.
No. I would like to reveal that I can knit.
Wow.
Wow.
Anyways, continue your fight. Glad I could contribute nothing.
Surprise us all, even yourself.
Yeah, I don't know what to offer is the thing.
Well, what if Aster, even surprising herself, has some sort of psychic skill that helps us get out of this situation?
Oh, that could be good. Because she's from places.
It's something that she didn't know that she had, because maybe she's from somewhere that doesn't have a psychic abilities. I'm putting that in gigantic quotes.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
All right. What does that
look like?
I don't know.
Is it something flashy, or is it one of those things where it's like, Aster's really, emotionally charged, and all of a sudden we hear some sort of noise and our pursuer is no longer pursuing us?
Maybe something in between. I don't
I was gonna say, she's not pursuing you. If something is pursuing you, it's not her.
Okay. I misunderstood, but yeah, the question still stands. Is it something flashy, or is
I like in between, like maybe Aster's eyes just kind of glaze over and she does some kind of a movement with her hands that I guess she didn't know she's never done before, and doesn't have any reason to believe it should do anything, but it does.
And what does it do?
does it make us invisible or something like that?
Sure.
You've been breaking through Sparkplug's surveillance network somehow.
Yeah, maybe they're, how quickly do we want to be back? We could teleport, I guess.
I do like the idea of, something that makes perception skitter off of us.
Mm-hmm.
We're unnoticeable.
Mm-hmm.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Because then it's escaping from more than just what's right in front of us. We're not being pursued by this person, but they're here as a favor to a friend, and something else is watching.
Yeah, so maybe we're momentarily not trackable.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to set down this Anxiety Intact, and I am going to briefly, very briefly, pick up the Psychic Maelstrom.
Oh boy, here we go.
Because that rumbling sound, there is the sudden blare of a train whistle, as in some other moment, in some other time, perhaps even in some other place, a train passes overhead as we return from the darkness underneath the station.
Pulled back from the party platform by a train from a time before.
I like it.
Wild.
Actually, is it more interesting if the train pulls into the station in front of us?
Yeah, sure.
We just get on board.
Literal train. Let's actually do it.
Yes.
We just get on a train.
I like that better, yeah.
After all, couldn't you consider the train network like the circulatory system of a city?
Yeah, absolutely. It's the wandering nerve, or vein, rather.
Is this not the blood that flows between the heart and the rest of the world?
And here we go, back from it through to the extremity where we were before. Time is strange here, and so is distance. We don't know how long we were walking in the darkness necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
Yeah, okay.
I'm happy to leave the scenes there.
Yep.
Do we have any last things to talk about in Idle Dreaming before we wrap?
Ooh, I think for Sparkplug's piece, at least, they've discovered a new thing to watch out for specifically. They have no idea if what they used actually works, but it seems to have slowed whatever that was down. They start hardening their network towards this new specific threat that's more than just outside, that's more than just the old world of what they were able to see before. Now they have something to focus on in the future. And I think at a later point after things have cooled down, they go back and see some of that crystal and start incorporating it into their network.
I have great news for you about that crystal.
Uh-huh.
It explodes!
Oh boy. Wait, no, they love this actually.
Yeah! Oh yeah, no, that was why I said it was great news!
Yeah! You got it. That's great news. That's great news for Sparkplug.
Wow. I'm happy for you, buddy.
They're also happy for themselves.
I think Moira sleeps with one eye open for a while after this. I mean, let me rewind. Moira generally sleeps with one eye open, but I think maybe he has a hard time sleeping for a while after this.
Oh, I bet he sees shadows in the dark.
Oh, yeah.
And images where he shouldn't.
Conversely, I think Ruben is going to spend some time going back down into the tunnels to see if they can't catch another glimpse of the Ringer of Bells.
I think Aster is seen... Do we still have the phone?
Yes.
Okay. I think Aster is seen tucking the remnants of the phone into a drawer and picking up their dog and heading out the door, like, to go grab some food, probably.
And some years in the future, a giant fucking seagull descends on this settlement. From God knows where.
That's rough,
and
buddy.
those of us, a seagull the size of a bear, and more than one, in fact, and following that incident, those of us who were here during this moment, and those who have gathered here over the course of whatever time passed in between, sit down and they say, hey, what if we turned this waypoint into some sort of true settlement? What if we put down roots for real? Yay!
Yay!
Yippee!
Wow!
We did a belonging outside belonging!
We did!
Yoo-hoo!
Hold on, I need to get out of my cog voice really quick. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Whew!
Woo.
That was good. How do we, before I do outros, how do we feel about that? How are we feeling?
Good. I'm gonna go grab our delivery from the door, so I'll be right back.
I've
Okay.
introduced a Chaos Agent.
Good shout, good shout.
I've introduced a Chaos Agent and they didn't die, which is great.
Yeah, and the great thing about the City of Gulls is we don't know how people get so old, so, you know...
There's always a chance that Sparkplug is still kicking 100 years in the future.
I absolutely know how they've lasted this long, and the answer is a lot of drugs.
Do we have anything... I want to ask this before we, really sign off. Is there anything that we want to retcon that with the knowledge of the end we would change in the beginning? The answer could be no, but I want to I want to put that on the table, that is 100% a thing that we can do.
Yeah, no, I think for me it's no. I think I'm happy with start to end how things went.
Yeah.
There's nothing that comes to my mind unless you have a suggestion.
I'm just excited to know what Ravage is under, so.
Yeah, I got nothing. I just want to. I wanted to make sure that I did that before we.
Good task, yeah.
Before we ended.
Yep.
Great. That was a blast.
Oh yeah.
That's been us. That's been Follow the Leader. I've been Mac. I will probably continue to be Mac in the future. You can find me on Blue Sky and Tumblr at Citadel of Swords. You can find Follow the Leader on Blue Sky at FTLcast, our Patreon at patreon.com/FTLcast. Keep an eye out. I have a longer epilogue that I intend to write at some point. I'll probably share that in the Standing Stones Discord server at some point once these arcs have come out. If you're not part of the Standing Stones Discord server, the invite link is in the show notes. So come join us and talk to us about Follow Leader as a whole, City of Gulls, Yeah, that's been me. What about the rest of you?
I've been August. You can still find me on Tumblr at Strange Harpy, on Blue Sky at Harpydora, and yeah, definitely come talk to us about City of Gulls things. We love City of Gulls things.
Yeah, I'll continue to be Annya, and just happy to be here.
What's the next book on your list, Anya?
Currently it is Darker by 4 by, what's her? June Tan. It's real good. It was a recommendation for people who like K-pop Demon Hunters, which I do like.
Yeah. And I've been Cory. Find me here with you. I'll continue to be, and my God, do I want to continue to be within this space. Hit me up, shout me out. I love hearing, and I'm here and I'm watching. I don't say it too much on my own out in the public space, but I love seeing what folks come up with and how they experience all of this. When I promise it's watering my crops. So if you have anything, any thoughts, anything in there, I promise I've seen it and I'll be thinking about it and rotating those cubes in my brain for a while afterwards. Don't catch me on sagas, please.
Yeah, go
Witness
listen to
Zach's
Sagas.
work. Please go listen to sagas. I'm
listen to
begging
Sagas.
you. I'm down on my knees. I'm pleading.
Says the guy who is staring longingly at Sagas and has not listened to more than half of the prologue episode. Anyway, let's clap.
Let's
Let's clap.